DaveQ, we're going to go ahead and make up a switched outlet up here. And so we're going to go ahead and jump to that and get that going. On a previous video, I already pre-stripped this wire here. So basically I can just pull on it and the sheathing just comes right off. Because I did it before I made the box up. Or as I was laying the wire in, I went ahead and did that. It's on a different video. So that one comes off fine. So this 3-wire though, 3-wire is difficult to do that on. So we're going to go ahead and strip that using our trusty box knife. Starting about 1 inch in, I put my finger underneath it here and I can run it straight down. If I happen to slip, it's not going to slip on anything because my finger is underneath the wire or underneath the piece, so if it slips, it's just holding the wire like that underneath it. So it's probably difficult to see, but hopefully it gets across. So go ahead and rock and roll this out here. So we're just going to pull the sheathing off. This is a switched outlet like I said, so what's going to happen is we're going to have to do something tricky when we make the box up, as well as when we install the outlet. So the wires I have in this box are, I have power in with the black, and I have a switched outlet with the right, and this white wire is a neutral, and this white wire is a neutral, and this is power out for both of these guys. So basically we're going to connect these two. Go ahead and use a crimp sleeve for this. So just basically slide it on, get it to where we want it. Let me see if I have that tool on me still. Look at that, right there. We're going to take this guy, it's a crimper with a crimp sleeve. It's copper, or I think they're copper. Kind of have a copper look to them, but I guess it's more of a brass look. Maybe it's a brass crimp sleeve. I don't think it matters. They're both UL listed and they sell them. So we're going to basically do 3 twists. We only have 1 device, so we only need 1 of these wires. Leave however many wires sticking out for the number of devices you have. The box down here, we needed 2. We would have left both of these if we only had 2 wires there. But this one, we only have 1, so we're cutting 1 of them. And go ahead and shove the rest of this in the box. So because this is an outlet, we'll go and grab the outlet here. We have this outlet right here. We have a spot for 2 neutrals, 2 hots, and 1 ground. So that's why we had to take the 2 grounds down to 1. However, we only have 2 neutrals here. So we don't actually have to do anything with those. We're just going to leave those there. But we have 3 hots. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and leave the switched part, which is we connected to the switch down here. For us, it's the red. We're going to leave that one where it's at, but we want to connect the hot so that our wire that's going to another box up here has the hot. Let's go ahead and do that. We're going to cut it at 6 inches. We only need 1 wire for that. Woo, dropped it. Let me set this outlet down. I don't need that in my hand while I'm doing it. So, all right, we got this. Act like I've done this a dozen times or thousands of times, because I have. I'm going to connect these guys here. So, just technically speaking, I'm doing this because people frequently are running 12-gauge wire to these. Technically speaking, on the back of an outlet that you would buy right now, which is, this is one that I just bought. I buy these all the time. There's a spot for a stab in and a spot for a screw terminal wrap. So we have both of these. So we could technically have put 1 here and 1 here. But if you have 12-gauge wire, 12-gauge will not fit in here, but this is 14, so it would. So I'm going to show you basically worst case scenario and the best practice for doing this. Although you technically can, if you have 14 gauge, you can stab 1 in and wrap 1 and it'll jump through that spot. So anyways, we got this made up here. We're going to shove this in here. So if I was to basically leave and come back later, which is generally what I'd be doing, I'd be measuring 4 inches outside the box at this point, cutting it, tossing all of this in my wire. I generally have a wire bin and another one. And then what I'll do is I'll fold it down, fold it up, shove it in the box. This box is now made up, and I can come back later and install an outlet after the sheetrock's done. But because this is a video on doing a half switched outlet, we're going to go ahead and install the half switched outlet right now. So let's say there's sheetrock on. I'm going to go ahead and pull this out, and we're going to go ahead and strip our wires to get this all prepped. On the back of the outlet, there's a strip gauge. So the strip gauge is only for stabbing in the wire. The strip gauge is not for doing wrapping it around the screw terminal. Basically, my neutrals that I'm going to use for stab-ins, which I can only do that because it's 14. I just wanted to show you. And then these guys are both hots. So anyways, well, I'll just move them where they go, and probably over explaining, but if you have questions, let me know. So always start with our ground. We're wrapping it. The curve is always clockwise because we're twisting it clockwise. And so, because if you do it, if you put it on there the opposite direction, it'll loosen. So now white goes to silver, and it's all, the neutrals are always on the same side as the ground. So we're going to do the stab-ins for this one. This is how easy the stab-ins are. Stab-ins, done. I just stab that side in. So the other side, now here's the trick part. This is a switched outlet. So I may not have done the best job of explaining this to you, but I'm going to try as best I can. There's a little piece here, a little tab on the hot side, the gold side, that I have to break. If I don't break that, it's going to have constant power through here, and the switch is going to be worthless. So if you ever replace a switched outlet, you got to take a tool. We're going to see if this one works. Sometimes dikes work. Basically, I got to grab it and rotate it back and forth. Needle nose pliers, I think, work as well. All right. So basically, I'm going to try to get this on the screen here. I pulled this little tab out. The tab is sitting right on this guy here. So once that tab is gone, the power is not going to jump between the two. That tab was broken, power is not going to jump between the two. Only the hot side, unless they're different circuits. They shouldn't be different circuits. They should be the same circuit, so only the hot side. The only reason you do the neutral side is if you have two different circuits. Okay? Most people switch the top outlet, so we're going to put the red on the top, black on the bottom. We didn't have to wrap these around the screw terminals. It would have worked fine doing the stab-in. But for the sake of just showing you how it's done, this one we stripped off about a ½ inch more, or at least a ¼ inch more than what we did the other side, than what the strip gauge says. So the strip gauge is only for stab-ins. I don't know how many times I can say that. Why do I say that over and over again? Because I troubleshoot jobs all the time where outlets are melted because people followed the strip gauge when they were wrapping the screws, and the insulation got underneath the screw. All right, this is done. This is a switched outlet. The top is going to be hot, the bottom's not. And we have our switched outlet right here, which is switching half of this. And power is going to the other half. So the bottom one has power. We got our two lights up here. So we're going to test our top one, which should not have power. So we have nothing up here. So what happens is when we flip the switch on, it gives power to the switch side of the outlet. So that's how we test that. It's our switched outlet with our switch. We're not going to mess with our three-way yet because we've got to make up the rest of that. So we're going to move on. Feel free to watch some of the other videos. If you have any questions, maybe something I overlooked or you're curious about, I'm more than happy to make a video for you. Thanks so much.